How's it? Today is Wednesday, June 16th. It's a clean and jerk day, and not too much has changed for basically anything from last week. Just work on the power clean, hang power clean, power jerk. Going up to 110 today, so I am using my belt today. I don't think I used my belt last week for 105. Some of these power cleans, well, all of these first reps were all power cleans, and some of the hang were not powers, but they were full cleans. I mean, they weren't like full cleans in the sense where I am going straight to the bottom, but they weren't high enough to be considered power by my standards. So I I don't know. I wouldn't call those fails, but I also wouldn't call them makes. I'm sort of halfway in between. um, that warm up didn't feel super great. I like every week that I talk about these. I'm trying my best to take the tension out of my arms and put it in my upper back. But I think I don't know. I have to figure out a better way to save my elbow moving forward. Um, Overall, I'm generally pretty happy with how the 110s felt. I think that that's a weight that I don't know I can power clean or hang power clean. That's a weight that I'm unsure if the hang power clean can will even be there. But yeah, there's not much else to say about that. I sort of ran out of time, but at the same time, at the end of the workout, I also did do the single arm dumbbell presses yesterday. So some of the things that I wrote down on today's notes were done yesterday. I don't know what happened here. I don't jump forward like that ever, so I really don't know. Um, but yeah, here we go for the first set. So that was definitely above that parallel mark, but some of them are going to be a little bit below, and for me that's okay. So it's a sort of just try my best to just truck through everything and work it all out. My hair is looking hella emo. One thing to think about for me here is when I go to catch this, if I catch this in the wrong spot, my lower back feels a ton of pressure. And then, similarly speaking, if I catch it in the wrong spot, my elbow also feels a ton of pressure. So, I have two things to think about when I'm going from the power clean rack to the hang power just to set up. I understand that I can just drop it and pick it up again, but I don't think that is the same amount of difficulty right here. So that's a good catch. You can see sometimes when I catch it poorly, I grimace a little bit. Um, Another thing to note is that today I'm definitely feeling those sets of 20, or that I guess that one set of 20 from yesterday. I can feel it in my legs and my hips. So it might be a reason why I don't look the best. I don't know. I think today, honestly, I think the power cleans felt pretty good. So that's a plus. Also, another thing is that I ended up doing one dragon flag yesterday to show Sky something, and my abs are just dust right now. So that's a fun thought. We'll see how I get to feel on Friday. I don't know if it'll go away. Here's my last set. I don't like specifically how my upper back is rounded as I pick it up off the ground. Um, it looks pretty okay for the hang. At the same time, I don't have that same back angle for the hang, which could be a problem in itself. But I'm just trying to get through this Wednesday workout. Just waking up at 4:30 is never fun. So having to do that every Wednesday and Friday, and sometimes Monday, it's not a positive experience. So after that, I do my clean deadlifts plus some floating deadlifts up to 130 for 3 sets of 1 plus 2. These are not hard, like not as hard as I made them out to be last week when I did 125. So 125, I set up my hips a little bit too far back and ended up doing sort of some RDL type movements, and that's definitely not what we're going for here. We're going for positioning that is similar to what I would start on for the clean, just obviously floating, so like a quarter inch, whatever, eighth inch off the ground, as close as I can get to the ground without touching the ground. That's the goal. So you can see here that I allow my body to hinge, and then once I reach that correct angle that I feel is the correct angle, I just try my best to lower the weight by bending my knees rather than continuing to hip hinge, because if I continue to hip hinge, then it just becomes an RDL. Straight up, it's just an RDL. Here's my last set. And then after that, I move into some barbell bent over rows. I think today I went to like 104 or something. The weight for me doesn't specifically matter. I just have been trying to progress week to week by 1 kilo. Honestly, I don't feel the difference. But I imagine that at a certain point I'm going to reach a weight that I'm going to have to swing a lot, or it's going to be really, really challenging. So when I reach it, I'll let you know. I haven't reached it yet, and so it feels like I can just kind of keep going one kilo at a time. And I guess that's how progressive overload is supposed to work, you know. There's that story of the cow, where this guy carried a cow around, like a calf, and then as the calf grew, the weight that he was carrying grew as well, and because the cow grew very slowly, he ended up getting stronger as the cow grew. Well, that's like the idea of what progressive overload is like. I don't know how true that is. It might be just one of those like myths. I think it was something from the Greek mythology. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I was able to do 1 set of dumbbell overhead holds today, and I just lost all motivation to continue with this. Again, Wednesday morning, it's not a fun time. So, just 1 set of what is that, like 30 kilos plus whatever the handle weighs. I don't remember what the handle weighs. So yeah, that's it for today. No real misses on the complexes, so that was good. Thank you for watching. Shoots.